Welcome back for part 2 of our very last lesson in chapter 3, 3-5, divide with whole numbers and mixed numbers. A neighborhood garden that is 2/3 of an acre is being divided into 4 equal sections. Write and solve an equation to find the size of each section. I'm going to pause the recording, or have you pause the recording, and solve the problem, and then find out the answer to the two parts going on here. The first part is going to have you write a whole equation. The second part is going to have you solve the problem. So I've started off by writing my equation showing where we're dividing 2/3 into 4 equal sections. I'm going to check that, and it says it's wrong. I wonder if the one's 4/1. Let's see what it says. It says show answer, and you know what? Their answer is the same as what I wrote. So I'm right, it's wrong. It's got issues, kind of like some other people I know. But we're not going to talk about folks' issues right now. We're going to solve this particular problem, 2/3 divided by 4. So let's get ourselves a clean spot in the slate. Get my pen going here. So I have 2/3 divided by 4. First thing we're going to do is make it an improper fraction by putting a 1 under it. Then we're going to keep, change, flip. 2/3, change division and multiplication, and flip or take the reciprocal of the second number. Now we're going to simplify. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 2 times. That's all the simplifying we can do. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is going to be 6, which means that 1/6 is our final answer. And while you may think that 1/6 is bigger than 2/3 or 1/4 because 6 is a bigger number, it's actually smaller. Anytime you multiply a fraction by a fraction, your answer is going to be smaller than either of the original fractions were. Now we're going to come back to our problem page, and our answer was, what was it, 1/6, I believe. So we're going to take and put in our fraction bar, 1/6, accept, check our answer, and the answer does check correct. From here, we get to work on dividing mixed numbers, and that is pretty dang easy too. All you have to do is turn the mixed number into an improper fraction and work it just like you've done everything else leading up to it. So let's see how this one's going to work out and what problem they're going to give us. Well, it looks like they're not going to give us a problem. They're going to give us a video instead. So let's watch their video.
Dividing with mixed numbers is similar to dividing fractions. To find 2 1/4 divided by 2/3, first write the mixed number as an improper fraction. 2 1/4 written as an improper fraction is 9/4. To divide 9/4 by 2/3, first multiply.
And let me say, I'm going to show you why it became 9/4 later. Don't stress over that.
Multiply 9/4 by the reciprocal of 2/3, 3/2. Then multiply the numerators. 9 times 3 equals 27. Finally, multiply the denominators. 4 times 2 equals 8. So 2 1/4 divided by 2/3 is 27/8, or 3 3/8.
Now, as I've said before in other videos, you always got to simplify it, and you got to change any improper fractions back to mixed numbers. On your final test at the end of the year, if you don't do that, it's going to be counted against you. On your test at the end of the chapter, if you don't do that, I'm going to count it against you. We always simplify our fractions, and we always change any improper fractions back into mixed numbers. Now, the textbook went to give you this big, long algebraic explanation on how to solve this, but I'm going to take and break it down. We're going to go over to our slate. We've got 3 1/3. Whoop, that's not the right one. We have 3 1/3 divided by 6. So let's find this, get a clean spot. We're going to take 3 1/3 divided by 6. Now, the 6 obviously becomes 6/1. But we got something significant going on right here. You've got 3 1/3. And 3 1/3, we have to change it to an improper fraction. And the way I like to do this is what is referred to as the Texas approach. We have a t and an X, also known as a plus and a times. And you start at the bottom. You do 3 times 3 is 9, plus the 1 is 10. The T and the X, the plus and the times, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 becomes 10 over the original 3. So the 3 1/3 right here, that's going to become 10/3 divided by 6 over 1. Now I'm going to keep change flip. I'm going to leave my number alone, 10 over 3. I'm going to change my division and multiplication, and I'm going to take the reciprocal of, or flip, the second number. From here, we're going to simplify. 2 goes into 10 5 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times, and we're going to multiply. Remember, you can't simplify horizontally, so all that's left is multiplication. 5 times 1 is going to be 5. 3 times 3 is going to be 6, giving us 5 6 for the final answer. That is the same answer that they're going to have over here. If we take and put in our fraction, 5 over 6, and hit accept, check our answer. It's going to, whoops, what did we do wrong? Nope, we didn't do anything wrong, because if we hit to show the answer, they said, oh, wait a minute, I did do something wrong. I was in a hurry. 3 times 3 is 9, not 3 times 3 is 6. I added instead of multiplied. So 5 over 9 is actually going to be our final answer. Now it's going to be your turn. Pause the recording, solve this problem on your own, and let's see if you can get it right. How do you do? Let's find out. We have 3 3/4 divided by 5, also known as, of course, 5 over 1. Now this we're going to change into an improper fraction. I'm going to use my Texas approach with, let me just change a color on that so it stands out a little better. My T and my X. That, of course, means that we're going to take and multiply 4 times 3, which is 12. And then I'm going to add 3 to the 12, which is going to give me 15 over the original 4. I'm also going to go ahead and skip ahead a step. I've got all my fractions at this point, so I'm going to keep that as 15 over 4. I'm going to change division and multiplication, and I'm going to flip or take the reciprocal of the second number. Now comes time to simplify. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 15 3 times, and we're going to multiply. 3 times 1, that equals 3. 4 times 1, that equals 4. So our final answer is going to be 3/4. Come over here and plug it in, and let's check it. 3 over 4. Accept, check, and we got that one right. Easy math. Anybody can do this. Very similar to your last 2 lessons we've done. Now we're really going to step up our game as we divide a mixed number by another mixed number. So we end up having 4 2/3 divided by 1 3/4. When we do this, you have all this colossal showing your work that the textbook did, and it probably wouldn't hurt to write down the notes they have here, because they show you step by step how everything works. But I'm going to show you what I expect to see on the actual test. So we're going to start off with the Texas approach, T and X and T and X. We're going to change each of our mixed numbers into improper fractions. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14 over 3. Divided by 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is going to give us 7 over 4. Now it's time to keep change flip. 14 over 3, change division and multiplication, and flip or take the reciprocal of the second number. We can simplify next. We can say that 7 goes into 7 once, 7 goes into 14 2 times, and we're going to multiply. 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 1 is 3. That is an improper fraction, though. We have to change our improper fraction to a mixed number. Remember to do that. Your first number goes in the house. 3 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. And when you subtract that, you get 2 left over. 2 2/3 is going to be our final answer. 2 2/3 goes here. I'm going to circle it. This is showing your work. This is what I must see. If I see anything else, you will have done it just for fun. Now let's put on our answer. 2 2/3. over 3, accept, check, and our answer checks. Easy math. You can do this stuff, guys. In fact, we're going to give you an opportunity to pause the video, solve this problem, see if you can get it right. Did you get it done? Let's see how I did mine. First off, we're going to Texas the problems. T and X, T and X. From there, 8 times 4, 32. 32 plus 1 is going to give me 33 over the original 4, divided by 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3 over the original 2. Of course, we need our equal signs there. Now it's time to keep, change, flip. So I got 33 divided by 4, change division multiplication, and flip or take the reciprocal of the second number. Time to simplify, and there's a lot of simplifying we get to do here. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 33 11 times, but we're not done. 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 2 one time. Now we're done. Now it's time to multiply. 11 times 1, that's going to be 11. 2 times 1, that's going to become 2. And when we divide that out, first number goes in the house, 2 goes into 11. 5 times, 2 times 5 is 10, with 1 left over, giving us 5 and 1/2. 5 and 1/2 for our final answer. This right here, that's showing your work. That is what I must see. Going back over here, we have 5 and 1/2 for our answer. Check it. 5 and 1 over 2. Accept, check, and the problem is good. All that is left for us to do now is to do our apply problem, and then we're going to be done with this lesson. In fact, we're going to give you an opportunity to pause the video, solve this problem, see if you can get it right. Did you get it done? Let's see how I did mine. First off, we're going to Texas the problems. T and X, T and X. From there, 8 times 4, 32. 32 plus 1 is going to give me 33 over the original 4, divided by 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3 over the original 2. Of course, we need our equal signs there. Now it's time to keep, change, flip. So I got 33 divided by 4, change division multiplication, and flip or take the reciprocal of the second number. Time to simplify, and there's a lot of simplifying we get to do here. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 33 11 times, but we're not done. 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 2 one time. Now we're done. Now it's time to multiply. 11 times 1, that's going to be 11. 2 times 1, that's going to become 2. And when we divide that out, first number goes in the house, 2 goes into 11. 5 times, 2 times 5 is 10, with 1 left over, giving us 5 and 1/2. 5 and 1/2 for our final answer. This right here, that's showing your work. That is what I must see. Going back over here, we have 5 and 1/2 for our answer. Check it. 5 and 1 over 2. Accept, check, and the problem is good. All that is left for us to do now is to do our apply problem, and then we're going to be done with this lesson. Did you do it, or were you totally baffled? If you were baffled, maybe this will help. First thing we need to recognize is the formula for area of a rectangle is base times height. And I know what you're thinking, but Mr. Reach, this is a square. This isn't a rectangle. All squares are always rectangles. We can think about what's the definition of a rectangle. A rectangle is a quadrilateral in which opposite sides are parallel and all angles are right angles. So it's going to be parallel and congruent. On a square, are your opposite sides parallel and congruent? Yes, they are. Are all your angles right angles? Yes, they are. So all squares are rectangles, so we can use the rectangle formula. So from there, I'm going to take and find the area of square A, and we're just going to take and put area sub A right there for square A, and that means I have 2 and 1/2 times 2 and 1/2. Now we haven't really gone over this year, but you should know how to multiply mixed numbers. You can change them to improper fractions, doing the same Texas thing we've done before. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2 times 5 over 2. And when you multiply that out, you're going to get 25 over 4. Now that is a mixed number, and we're going to leave it like that because we're going to be doing other stuff with it right now. From here, we're going to go and we're going to work on square B. So I'm going to say area of sub B is equal to base times height. Area sub B is equal to 1 3/4 times 1 3/4. Area sub B is equal to 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7 over 4 times 7 over 4. Finally, that's going to give us area of sub B. We can make that look a little better. Sub B is equal to 7 times 7 is 49, and 4 times 4 is going to be 16. And we're going to circle that, and we're going to leave it as an improper fraction, because now we have to divide square A by square B. I think, let me go back and read the question again. It says, how many times bigger is square mirror A than mirror B? So what will multiply A by to get to B? So that means we're going to divide, hold on. Yep, we're going to divide the area of square A by the area of square B. So let's change to another color here. Let's go black. Nice dark gloomy color here. I'm going to take the 25 over 4 that we found for square A. We're going to divide it by the 49 over 16 that we found for square B. Now we're going to keep change flip. So the 25 over 4 gets left just like it is. Change division and multiplication and flip, or take the reciprocal of the second number, which is going to give us 16 over 49. Now it comes time to simplify. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 16 4 times. That's the only things that are going to simplify in this. And we're going to multiply. 25 times 4, 100. 1 times 49 is going to be 49. But that is an improper fraction, and we can't leave it that way. So we got to take and change that back into a mixed number. 100 divided by 49. 49 will go into that 2 times, which is 98. And when you subtract that, you get 2 left over. So if my math is right, it's going to be 2 and 2/49. Wow, I ran this one out long. Let me pause this for just a second to fix it, and then we'll check my answer. Alright, so let's plug in my final answer up over here. Get my mouse back where it goes. 2 and 2 over 49. That seems like a kind of oddball answer, but maybe we're going to be right. Let's find out. So we're going to come over here and we'll plug it in. 2 and 2 over 49, accept, and check. Woohoo! My oddball answer is correct. And with that, we have finished the very last lesson of Chapter 3, Module 3. Now it's time for you to get busy doing your homework. I really don't think it should take you very long if you know how to multiply and divide. If you have your multiplication facts down good, this homework's going to be just super easy to do. Get started on it.